because they've been in the right place, but they definitely used the wrong line. So my name is Mark Kalchik, and I'm from Washington, D.C., and I got to tell you, I love it there. Right? Except it is getting so expensive there. Right? Right? I mean, you have no idea what it costs these days to buy a politician. So I was not lucky enough to grow up in either D.C. or Silver Spring or the DMV. I grew up in Akron, Ohio. There is, fine, how are you? There is nothing to do in Akron, Ohio. Except, that is, to go to evangelical churches to be saved. And I went, oh yes I did. I got to see the Reverend Rex Humbard preach at the Cathedral tomorrow. Whoa. He was amazing. He had such charisma. He had such power. You know, he had the power to take away all of my sins. He had the power to take away all of my illnesses. He had the power to take all major credit cards. But not American Express. Yeah, but boy howdy, I wanted that power. Oh yes I did. So I went to my career counselor and I said, Rabbi, well, they get it. That's when I found out that they don't let Jews do that. So, what I really dislike intensely is flying. There's no personal space. You've flown, you guys have flown, right? I mean, there's always the plus-size guy in the center seat with his arms akimbo, flapping them like a condor and smelling like a condor, right? Or you got the guy that's got to put stuff up in the overhead, you know, putting their body bags up there all the while, blocking the aisle. And of course, the worst, that guy with the 25-inch laptop watching Die Hard 2 with no headphones. So you'll understand how excited I was on this trip that I took last week, which I'll tell you a little more about in a little bit. The person next to me was so tiny. I actually had room for my elbows. Her carry-on was so small, it fit right underneath the seat in front of her. And her phone was so tiny that the screen was so small I could barely see the new pictures of her girlfriend. But being at 30,000 feet with no control over your fate scares the daylights out of me. So the first thing I do when I get on a plane, and I'll bet you some of you do the same, is I check out the plane's karma. If there's a bunch of young kids on the plane, I go, oh, well, karma wouldn't want anything bad to happen to these young innocents. If there's a bunch of priests on the plane, it could go either way. If the kids get on with the priests, I get off the plane. But I'll tell you, I wish I got off this flight last week. It was from D.C. to Dallas. And you know, they've been having tornadoes throughout the entire Midwest. This flight was so rough. And then when we got to Dallas, we couldn't land because there were all the tornadoes. So we circled and circled and circled. And then the pilot came on and said, oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry, but Dallas is still closed because of weather. And we're running out of fuel. What? But don't worry, we're going to make an emergency landing, but it is going to get a little rough. So I ask you, please, seat backs, tray tables up, store your belongings, and please remove your eyewear. Remove my eyewear? And it did get rough. I am talking Tina Turner rough. I mean, it was so rough that my seatmate Alice grabbed my arm. And she goes, "Oh my, I am so frightened. I got me 3 small babies at home." I went, "Oh, wonderful. Karma's not going to want these kids to be motherless." And my husband, he's a Baptist minister, and he cannot tend to the flock without me. Whoa, even better. I'm a member of the club. And when I was in D.C., I had me an affair. And just as she says that, the plane goes up on one wing, then nose down. The overheads pop. Oxygen mask pop. And then the pilot comes on and says, "Dallas is clear, landing in 2 minutes." The plane erupts in applause. Everybody is so excited, except for Alice. Oh my. When I thought we were going to die, I texted my husband, and I admitted my mortal sin. Oh, Alice, you are an idiot. Don't you know that what happens in D.C. wrecks the rest of the country? Thank you very much. I am Mark Palchik. If you make it in D.C., come and take a comedy walk with me.